Mention Tipu Sultan and lessons on the tiger of Mysore strike your minds. But was he really the tiger of Mysore or a freedom fighter like our history books would have us believe? Because there is now a growing chorus against this narrative. The BJP and the Kodava community of Karnataka believe that Tipu Sultan has been glorified despite the atrocities against the Hindus and in particular the Kodavas. After much hue and cry, the textbook committee is mulling to alter history itself. Listen to what the textbook committee chairman had to say about this.
Have they come up with any proof? What was there earlier and what has been changed? Nothing has been given by them. No proof has been given by them. They are only going by some rumors. We have not touched any important facts or evidences. So wherever some opinions were written, some biased things were written, only those things have been eliminated. The facts and figures are already there. They have not been eliminated. The portion has not been removed. It is very much there. Tipu will remain in the history. Tipu's portion will definitely be there in the history. Only thing is some exaggeration, some facts and figures, wherever some false facts were written, only those things have been removed.
Tipu will remain part of the syllabus, part of textbooks, but he will not be glorified, says the member of the committee. The BJP calls it course correction, welcomes the move. The Congress has linked it to elections by saying a Muslim icon is being vilified for votes.
ಯಾವುದೇ ಕಾರಣದಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ವೈಭವೀಕರಣನೂ ಮಾಡದೆ ಸತ್ಯದ ಚರಿತ್ರೆಯ ವಿಚಾರವನ್ನ ತರುವಂತ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನವನ್ನ ಮಾಡಿದೀವಿ. ಯಾರ ಮನಸ್ಸಿಗೆ ನೋವಾಗದಂಗೆ ನೋವಾಗಿರುವಂತ ಮನಸ್ಸುಗಳಿಗೆ ರಿಲೀಫ್ ಕೊಡುವಂತ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನವನ್ನ ಮಾಡಿ
ನಾನು ಸ್ವಾಗತ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಯಾರ್ಯಾರನ್ನ ಅತೀವ ವೈಭವೀಕರಿಸಿದ್ದಾರೆ ದೇಶದಲ್ಲಿ, ಒಂದೇ ಟಿಪ್ಪು ಅಲ್ಲ, ಅದು ಔರಂಗಜೇಬ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಅಕ್ಬರ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಬಾಬರ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಮತ್ತು ಧರ್ಮಾಂಧ ರಾಜರು ಏನಾದರೆ ಅವ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ವೈಭವೀಕರಣ ಇರುವಂಥದ್ದು ಇತಿಹಾಸ ಪಠ್ಯ ಪುಸ್ತಕ ತೆಗಿಬೇಕು. ಅಕ್ಬರ್ ದಿ ಗ್ರೇಟ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ನಮಗೆಲ್ಲ ಕಲಿಸಿದ್ದಾರೆ ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಚಿಕ್ಕವರಿದ್ದಾಗ. ಅಕ್ಬರ್ನಿಂದ ಹಿಂದೂ ಸಮಾಜದ ಮೇಲೆ, ಹಿಂದೂ ರಾಜರ ಮೇಲೆ ಮತಾಂತರ, ದೌರ್ಜನ್ಯ, ಇವತ್ತು ಟಿಪ್ಪು ಸುಲ್ತಾನ್ ಕೊಡಗಿನ ಸುಮಾರು 1 ಲಕ್ಷ ಹಿಂದೂಗಳನ್ನು ಕೊಂದಂಥದ್ದು ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ಮರೆಮಾಚಿ ಅವರೊಬ್ಬ ಸ್ವಾತಂತ್ರ್ಯ ಹೋರಾಟಗಾರ, ಅವನಿಗೆ 2 ಮಕ್ಕಳನ್ನ ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷರಿಗೆ ಒತ್ತಿ ಇಟ್ಟರು ಅನ್ನುವಂಥ ಒಂದು ವೈಭವೀಕರಣ ಏನಿದೆ ಇದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ತೆಗಿಬೇಕು.
What the committee suggested now in regarding a Tipu issue in the books, exaggerating the things about the Tipu. He is the Mysuru tiger, he is a freedom fighter. That's the image given to by the Congress government. What is the reality that have to added in the textbooks? That's the reality, because history always must be truth. So the committee will examine what report will give, that the government will take decision.
Now the whole idea of doing this about Tipu Sultan and everyone else is only for polarization. They only believe in divide and rule. Okay, so what this does is it creates a problem for the communal harmony in the state and in the country. So this should not be done. Whatever issues are there, why are they only after Tipu Sultan?
I think this is a retrograde step altogether. You can't alter history, nor you should make an attempt to do that, because otherwise history is going to judge you very badly.
ಆದರೆ ಇವಾಗ ಇವರು ರಾಜಕೀಯ ಬೇಳೆಯನ್ನು ಬೇಯಿಸಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬೇಕಾಗಿ ಇವರಿಗೆ ಏನಾಗಿದೆ, ಟಿಪ್ಪುವನ್ನು ವಿರೋಧಿಸುವಂತ ಒಂದು ಚಾಳಿಯನ್ನು ಇವರು ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು ಬರ್ತಾ ಇರುವಂತದ್ದನ್ನಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ನಮಗೆ ಕಾಣಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯವಾಗಿರುವಂತದ್ದು. ಏನು ಇವಾಗ ಪಠ್ಯಪುಸ್ತಕದಲ್ಲಿ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಬರಗೂರು ರಾಮಚಂದ್ರ ಪಂತೆ ಹೋದವರು ಏನು ಒಂದು ಪರಿಷ್ಕರಣೆಯನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರ, ಆ ಪರಿಷ್ಕರಣೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಟಿಪ್ಪು ಸುಲ್ತಾನನ್ನ ವೈಭವೀಕರಣ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ವಿಚಾರವನ್ನು ಇಟ್ಟುಕೊಂಡು ಇವಾಗ ಟಿಪ್ಪು ಸುಲ್ತಾನ್ನ ಇತಿಹಾಸವನ್ನ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮರೆಮಾಚ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ.
Only like to remind the leaders in Bharatiya Janata Party and people of the country, all these 3 former chief ministers of Bharatiya Janata Party in Karnataka, they have celebrated Tipu Jayanti by wearing his turban, by wearing his clothes and having his sword in the hand. They have celebrated his Jayanti. Not less than the president of the country when he was in Bangalore, when he was addressing both the houses, Legislative Council and Legislative Assembly, he glorified Tipu Sultan to the extent that he is the first freedom fighter of the country. I don't think Tipu Sultan needs any more recognition or recommendation than the president of the country himself.
You heard the blame game. Let me quickly open this up. GV Krishna, spokesperson of the Karnataka BJP. Gokul Chandran is a political analyst. Good evening, gentlemen. Mr. Krishna, the charge is that this is an attempt to rewrite history, and you are doing this with an eye on votes.
Absolutely not. The idea of Jayanti was mooted by Congress to eyeing on votes. And I want to say that the history has not been rewritten. It has been written promptly with the facts. And the basis for all this thing is Tipu Sultan was never a freedom fighter. You see the timeline. The freedom fighting started in 1800s. He was there in 1700s. The question of he was fighting with Portuguese, he was fighting with British, he was fighting with Marathas, he was fighting with Mysore Maharajas. So there is no question of freedom fight at that point of time. So that is the first mistake. Second, they said he was promoting communal harmony. That is the worst thing they can write about him. His own letters, what he has written, and a book written by his own son clearly says he killed lakhs of Kurgis, he killed lakhs of Malabaris and tried to convert almost a lakh of Malabar Hindus in Kerala. So the question of timeline, the question of he promoting, helping Hindus, all these things are wrong. It is only glorification all these days, and it is not just Tipu. I am saying this is the way the history was written in India, and we are able to see the examples of this. Now I feel the government has clearly said there are no changes, only facts have been brought. It is only the truth which should prevail, and the children of this country should understand.
Okay, let's get a response from the other side. The BJP says that, listen, Tipu Sultan was a religious bigot who massacred countless Kodavas and also indulged in mass conversions. Mr. Chandran.
Yeah, BJP remembers all these things only when election is nearing and when when the state is getting into an election mode. Let it be the hijab row, let it be Muslims not allowed to keep shops around temples, let it be Tipu Sultan. BJP, to win election, they need something like this, something to be brought forward, and so that they can win elections. This Kodava community was accepting Tipu Sultan and they were moving ahead without any problem for 100 of years, and suddenly now BJP has instigated them, BJP has poisoned them to speak such things and to agitate and go for demonstrations. BJP does this very cunningly and very carefully so that they can get votes. But they have to remember something. You can communalize the public, you can communalize the whole society, you may get votes, but it is going to tear the fabric, communal fabric and the peacefulness of the state. BJP should understand. They did that with Babri Masjid and India got torn into various pieces, and same way the peaceful Karnataka now because of BJP such tantrums is going to suffer.
Response
Nobody
to that,
should
Mr. Krishna.
I am very sorry. He does not understand anything about what Tipu has done.
You don't know
Please
even
go to
history.
Melukote. Please go to Melukote.
Mr. Krishna, you don't know even history.
They don't celebrate Deepavali today. It is not BJP at that point of time. Please understand. Don't try to communalize. Hijab was started by you people, SDPI. It is not by BJP. Now you are suffering. Now you are only trying to blame BJP. The whole Congress and the whole this SDPI, PFI, they are interested in communalizing every issue, putting everything on BJP.
Mr. Krishna,
History cannot be rewritten. History, it is history what we are saying. Your BJP was not there when Tipu was there. See, he started promoting Kannada. You come to Karnataka, all revenue records are in Parsi. This is the way he used to rule. So he was one of the worst rulers of Karnataka, and that too he never promoted Kannada. And I am telling you, people in Chitradurga, people in Melukote, people in Coorg, people in Malabar, please ask them about the history. They will tell you. And these people have rewritten history, glorifying that man who was never a good ruler at all. And there was no freedom fighting at the 1700s. And these people say communalizing. Communalizing for what? You people communalize
The
by
counter,
making
Mr. Gokul
the
Chandran, the BJP
Jayanti was
says
not there.
stop the appeasement.
In Muslim community.
Okay, Mr. Krishna, you've had your say. Let's get a response from Mr. Chandran quickly.
Yeah, Mr. Krishna was telling that STPA and PFI, he was blaming, I agree. STPA, PFI are as bad as RSS. If you talk about STPA and PFI, you have to tell about RSS. All three are equally communal and all three wants to benefit out of communal rights and communal disharmony. The STPA is starting it and RSS is feeding them for such activities.
Leave it at that. We've run out of time. I thank you both, GV Krishna, Gokul Chandran, for joining us on this big story. We'll have a short break on Times Now.